If you're looking to make money from the cryptocurrency markets, well, you're in the right place. Today is day number 9 of a 10-part series where we're diving deep into Bitcoin, breaking down the macro picture and the intermediate. What's really highly probable over the coming weeks and months. And just to summarize what we've covered so far, is that we've clearly been in a bear market since November 2021. We've had this impulsive move to the upside, which could be the beginning of a new trend. We've said that we are anticipating a three-wave correction in this price and time zone end of March, give or take, towards the $20,000 range. And then we are anticipating the next surge to the upside, which is highly probable. We've set out 3 different price targets, and if one gets exceeded, it will probably go to the next, and some dates. And we're talking about between June and August. But what we're going to talk about today are some trade strategies. What should you do with this information? How can you make money? And that's what we're going to focus on today. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Don't forget to check out my free Bitcoin report where I give you timely information as a video report. And it's updated on a regular basis when new things are happening that we need to really be aware of and that we can use to make buying and selling decisions. So that's free. It's in the link below. There's some extra goodies in that membership area as well. So first of all, just to slow it down, what we're waiting for and what I'm waiting for, I'm going to bring this up, is I'm waiting for a momentum bullish reversal. And it's basically something like this, where the blue line goes above the red. And this measures rate of change. So the markets tend to move in rhythms and cycles. And what would be the ideal, doesn't mean it's going to happen, just ideal, that the next bullish reversal, I'm going to draw it like this so you can see a nice clean visual, is it the red line does this and the blue line does something like this. That this crossover coincides with this point over here, an ABC pattern in a typical price and time zone. That's what you call a confluence of events. Multiple technical things telling us that we're likely at the end of a correction and then we're going to see a continuation of the former trend. Okay, if that occurs, and it is still an if because we're looking way into the future, weeks into the future, then we want to look to buy. There's going to be a few different scenarios that you can leverage. And by the way, if you like the idea of having this dashboard and these buy and sell signals that are very, very timely and are based on, well, in English, it just basically interprets this information into simple, actionable steps. You can now trial it all for £1, 30-day trial, and if you like it, it's £9.97 thereafter. I've included full training on how to use this, but you want to be using it in conjunction with Elliott wave theory and price, or whatever technical analysis that you use. It's an extra confluence of events. That's in the link below. Do check it out. It'll just help take your trading to the next level. So what I'm waiting for, there'll be some opportunities in between. There'll be some opportunities here. There will be some opportunities here. But the big opportunity, the next big opportunity is if this occurs and Bitcoin really takes off. Well, first, let's just focus on Bitcoin. And then if Bitcoin takes off, what does that mean for the rest of the market? And what should we anticipate based on what we know and how the market responds with buying and selling behavior? Well, let's just zoom in over here. I just want to zoom in. And I'm going to get rid of these buy and sell signals. And let's, in fact, we'll leave it like this, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to draw this out because I like to give you a nice clear visual. Let's just say we get this happening. Right? These are bars, weekly bars. Right? Let's just say it closes here and opens over here. Let's just say this occurs, right? Now, we don't know if it's going to occur. Let's just, these are open and close. Opens here, closes here. Let's just say it opens here, closes here, opens here, and closes here. All right, let's just say Bitcoin unfolds like this. Now, again, we're totally forecasting, so we need to wait for this to happen. We want to then drop down to a daily chart and look for buying opportunities. Now, there's a couple of ways. The first one is being very aggressive. We are literally trying to catch the low before the trend takes off. Right? That's one way. Nothing wrong with that. There's pros and cons to that as well. Or what you can do is the same thing, but wait for the first pullback. And what you'll find markets tend to do, like we saw over here, the market took off and then had a first pullback and then it took off. And you'll probably find that with, especially if you drop down to a daily chart and a 4-hour chart, the market would likely take off and they'll probably have some type of pullback. And if this occurs, the first pullback is one of the safest times to buy on any market and any time frame. So that's another thing. So it's either try and catch the low and have a strategy or wait for the first pullback. If you want to be a bit more conservative, what you can also do is this pattern sequence over here. We want confirmation that this low is confirmed and we're likely to exceed this high. And we want it as early as possible because we want to buy as early as possible with high probability, but we want to also maximize the chances of riding the trend. So one of the things you can do is look for something called a pattern reversal signal. And one of the ones that I like is something called a wave overlap. So here's the closing overlap. Again, it's not confirmed. We need confirmation. But as it stands, let's just say the price closed over here. It's called the wave 8. If the price closes in this range and then pulls back, this point here gives us a nice indication. This is a bit advanced what I'm showing you here, but gives us a nice indication that this low is likely to hold. And then we're just looking for buying opportunities on every pullback, buying opportunities, and then bigger pullbacks, buying opportunities. So that's what I'll look to do with Bitcoin for a medium-term buying hold strategy. I'll be looking to trade this, so using 2% risk with tight entries and to really ride the trends. And especially if it takes off and it's towards the end of June, early July into August, then there's going to be some massive opportunities and multiple opportunities. Now, what I want you to do now, and how I'm doing it, is also use Bitcoin as a macro indicator. And what I mean by that is Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, Binance Coin, all cryptocurrencies are sensitive to Bitcoin. They're not directly correlated, but there is a correlation. And if we do, because you'll find everything's been in a bear market since November 2021, right? And Bitcoin topped out in November 2021. So if Bitcoin really takes off with some aggressive buying and we see some real impulsive waves, you're going to see some massive multiples on especially the lower coins and the smaller coins. So you can also just use this information, especially this point over here, if this occurs, especially if this high gets exceeded, as confirmation that we're probably going to see a massive influx of money into the cryptocurrency markets. Currently, the market cap is around $1 trillion, $1 trillion, and we're probably going to see it go up to maybe 1.5, maybe even towards the $2 trillion mark again, which is what it was at the all-time high, and then maybe even exceed that eventually as well, especially with a lot of the hype around a few different industries and sectors as well. So, just then look for these same patterns, and they won't be identical, but they'll be similar. Look for the A, B, C pullbacks in your favorite coin. Look for 5-wave moves, and if it's doing a 5-wave move, well, more often than not, it will do a 3-wave correction. Probably a bit deeper than this. Probably more like this, and you're looking for the same behavior, and you might find that there's a delay. Like Bitcoin takes off, and then the other coin takes off 1 or 2 weeks later. So just know there's a correlation and you're looking for things to marry up. So let's finish on a quote today from Socrates. But before I do, make sure you're checking out my free Bitcoin report where we're doing video updates on timely information based on the factors of momentum pattern and price and then time ratios when it's really, really relevant. So Socrates, it's a great quote. He or she is richest who is content with the least. He is richest who is content with the least. In other words, can you have gratitude for what you already have? And therefore, if you get more, you will have more gratefulness and more contentment. And I see that as just happiness. The secret of happiness is gratitude in itself. So Socrates says, he, and I'm saying or she, is richest who is content with the least. I also learned this a while ago. I'm laughing because I've just found it to be true. If you're not happy with what you currently have, if you have 10 times more, it might be the case that it doesn't increase your happiness. Whereas if you're delighted with what you have and content with what you have, and you get more, man, it's going to take your life to the next level.